Ever wondered how to determine the right wick size for your homemade candles? Well, you're not alone. Now, some might dismiss this as a trifling detail, but let me tell you, it's anything but. The wick is the heart of your candle, the matchmaker between the wax and the flame. It's the wick's job to deliver just the right amount of wax to the flame, maintaining a controlled, steady burn. If your wick is too small, it might drown in molten wax, extinguishing the flame prematurely. On the other hand, if it's too large, it could lead to an oversized, unstable flame and excessive wax consumption. Neither of these scenarios is ideal for a candle lover or a DIY enthusiast. So, the right wick size is paramount for your candle's performance. Now, how to figure out the right size? Stay tuned! Choosing the right wick size isn't a guessing game, it's a process. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of how to determine the perfect wick size for your homemade candles. The first thing you need to consider is the diameter of your candle. Is it as petite as a teacup or as wide as a soup bowl? The larger the diameter, the larger the wick size you'll need. Next, think about the type of wax you're using. Soy wax burns cooler than paraffin wax, which means you'll need a thicker wick for soy candles to ensure they burn properly. Beeswax, on the other hand, burns hotter than both, so adjust your wick size accordingly. Then comes the fun part, the fragrance and dye load. The more fragrance and dye you add, the harder your wick has to work to burn through it all. Therefore, a heavier fragrance and dye load will require a larger wick. Now, for our wooden wick enthusiasts, there's an added factor to consider, the thickness of your wick. A thicker wick will produce a larger flame, which can help if your candle has a large diameter or a heavy fragrance and dye load. But remember, this is more art than science. It might take a few tries to find the perfect wick size for your candles, so don't be discouraged if you don't get it right the first time. So, you see, it's not rocket science, but it does need a bit of thought. Before we wrap up, here are the key points to remember. Determining the perfect wick size hinges on 3 key factors: your candle's size, the type of wax you're using, and the fragrance and dye load. Bear in mind, the right wick size can completely transform your candle's performance, so it's crucial to experiment with different sizes to find that perfect fit. Well, that's it for today, folks. Remember, the right wick can make or break your homemade candle, so choose wisely and happy candle making.